Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, April 19th, 2023. It is 2:58 in the morning. Okay, this is part 8, chapter 1. I am able. Put your warrior boots on. Brave is not the point. Let me take this off the table. You don't have to be brave. Stay with me. Let me explain. You know how you feel when a great song comes on the radio too much, when a great song comes on the radio too much and in its popularity it becomes overplayed? That's what it's like for me with the word brave. I used to love it. I used to feel like it was the best and strongest word I had ever heard. The word I always longed to be. I used to think if I were just braver, I could do that hard thing. The list of hard things was long. I drove myself crazy with the list. If I were braver, I would witness for God. If I were braver, I would stop gossip in its tracks and fight harder for the underdog and bungee jump and make even travel to Africa. If I were just braver. But then I got used a lot. It got overplayed. I started hearing and seeing it at every turn. On bracelets, on plaques, on t-shirts. In everyday conversation, it led me to wonder what the word even meant. Does brave mean strong, heroic, determined? Or is it just a casual description of a person who does what other people might not? Then one day, I am exiting the hair salon, and I overhear one friend say to the other as they both walk out the door, "Oh, girl, you are brave." And it is clear she is referring to her friend's decision to cut her hair short and dye it purple. Right then and there, I silently push back on brave. I remember my friends fighting cancer and other friends fighting in the military, and the boy with no limbs I saw on TV who faces his giants every day with a smile, and I feel resentful. When it comes to brave, purple hair shouldn't make the cut. I'm going to dye my hair purple one time. No, we call too many regular things brave. So here's a new life strategy. We don't have to be brave. We just have to be prepared. This evens the playing field. This is something regular people like me can do. Brave feels hard and nebulous. Prepared feels doable and concrete. The world tells us we won't be safe. Bad will come for us. Evil will snatch our families away. Those things are too big for my brave. They're too big for yours too. And that's okay, because Jesus is handling the brave part quite well without our help. Even as we're told by the world that God is not in charge, we walk in his authority. The world doesn't have to understand that for it to be true. This position doesn't change without the world's endorsement. Whether or not we feel able, we have it in us to put on our warrior boots and go. You are able, but not because you mustered up a brave moment. You are able to walk Jesus strong because of who he is and what he has already done. He is our confidence. He is our strength in our strategy. Our job is to live the warrior boots life of centered, steadied conviction and confidence and walk in his power and authority until this world ends. In his book, Sit, Walk, Stand, the martyred Christian watchman, Nee, writes that we sit in the finished work of God on the cross. We walk through life with this understanding. We stand in the rightful authority we have been given. This stance has nothing to do with our trying to be brave. Our strength comes from our inheritance. God never asks us to do anything we can do. He asks us to live a life with which we can never live and do a work which we can never do. Yet, by His grace, we are living it and doing it. That's it, friends. We, everyday believers in Jesus, parents who have had children go to heaven, people who lose jobs and develop horrible illness and endure harsh, unfair things and are on the edge of financial crisis, who by His grace keep breathing. Because of Him, there will always be hope. But as long as we tell ourselves we are simply being brave, we aren't giving God His proper due for holding us together. We are relying on something we don't fully understand, and that can come and go depending on human factors. It's not that we can't have a humanly strong moment. It's just that our best humanly strong moment isn't built to last. There's a subtle humanistic message, too, preached in this idea of brave at its core. That message promotes self-sufficiency and not God-reliance. Putting on our warrior boots, developing a core resoluteness, and becoming mentally and spiritually prepared for the battle aren't things we can do in our own strength. How often we hide in the shadows because we do not believe we have it in us. It's not true. Because of Jesus, we do. We all do. The author of Hebrews tells us to keep our eyes on Jesus, the champion who initiates and perfects our faith. Chapter 12, verse 2. God is thorough. He's not like us. Starting lists He never finishes, leaving projects undone. In this verse, He's saying, I've started it with you, creation, salvation, and I'll finish it with you. Second coming, heaven, eternity. And your job is just not to break eye contact with me in the process. He is enough. He is always enough. He is forever enough. To have strength, we must stay with the strength every second. Okay, so that is all for part 8. Chapter 1, I am able. Put your warrior boots on. Thank you for watching.